Before I get started with this story, I have to give a shout out to Lisa because if it wasn't for her, I would have not talked about this. And I'm also a little bit mad at myself because I'm supposed to be staying on top of this story, but like I said in previous videos, there is so much stuff going on right now that sometimes it's easy to forget that a lot of stuff is happening. But luckily for me, this story just coming out is still recent. It actually came out. The article that I'm reading from came out on April 15th, and I'm recording it on April 20th, so I'm about 5 days behind with this particular story. So this is another Quawan Charles update, and this is one that I'm not happy to report. So the last time I talked about Janet Irvin, who you see in the pictures, they caught her and they had arrested her and they put her in jail. Well, now the most recent update is that this chick right here has bonded out of jail. And not only that, the way she was able to bond out is because her bond ended up getting reduced. So it basically got into a point where it was affordable for her to bond out. Let me go ahead and read this article so we can find out some additional information. Janet Irvin, who was arrested in February in connection with the Quawan Bobby Charles case, has bonded out of jail. On Tuesday, April 13th, an Iberia Parish judge reduced the bond set for Irvin, who was booked on February 9th, contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile and failure to report a missing child. At the time of her initial arrest, Irvin's bond was set at $300,000 for the failure to report charge and $100,000 for the contributing charge. According to the court, the 16th Judicial District Judge Anthony Saline reduced Irvin's bond Tuesday down to $15,000. That's a huge leap from $400,000. That's a huge leap down, or a huge gap down from $400,000 to $15,000. For the contributing to delinquency of a minor charge and $75,000 for failure to report a missing child. So her bond literally got reduced down to just a little over, less than $100,000. Irvin has been required to wear an ankle monitor and have no contact with the victim's family following her release from jail. Irvin is the woman that Charles' family says he left with when he disappeared from his father's Baldwin home on October 30th, 2020. On November 3rd, 2020, Charles' body was located in a drainage ditch along the headland in a sugarcane field adjacent to Ed Brossard Road near the village of Laurelville in Iberia Parish. The autopsy found that Charles had drugs in his system and had drowned. This is some BS right here. The fact that her bond got reduced from $400,000 to less than $100,000. Mind you, she's been in jail since February. Now it makes you wonder what the hell happened between then and now to make her bond get reduced. And what's so crazy, it's sad enough that this story doesn't get as much traction enough as it does. But then now you have this crap on top of it. I don't know what I'm more mad at. Mad at myself because I did not stay on top of this the way that I should have in the last couple of weeks, mainly because there wasn't much that came out until now, or that they slipped this in here, but I'm not surprised that they did because, like I said, the story doesn't get that much traction. Or the fact that I'm pissed at the judge for reducing this woman's bond down to less than $100,000. Like, this basically brought her bond down to like $90-some thousand. Of course, she was able to pay that. That's like what? At 10%, a little over $9,000, less than $10,000. Of course, she probably had that somewhere. The fact that she was in jail the entire time up until this point means she couldn't afford that high of a bond, which is where that bond should have stayed. No one can tell me that this chick had nothing to do with this boy's death. And speaking of boy, where is her son at? Because wasn't her son also a person of interest as well? Because they said that he was probably one of the ones that helped lure him away because they knew each other. Because her son is like a teenager. And then what about the story about the father of her child coming out saying how abusive of a mother that she is? Because she has more children. If y'all remember the stories that I talked about her before in the past, she has other children. It's just that the son is her oldest, and that's the one who was with her. But they said she was abusive to, like, not only to her other kids, but to her ex-husband or whoever this guy was to her as well, the father of her children, which is why he got away from her. And he was like, I'm not, in the way he was talking, is almost like, I'm not surprised that this could have came out about her because of how she treated her other kids. So they really need to, like, literally dig more into that. Of course, they stopped. They didn't really go any further, but they need to look a little bit more deeper into her as who she is as a parent, which to me just screams unfit mother. So it doesn't surprise that if she does this to someone else's child, that she would do this to, if she does this to her own kids, that she wouldn't do this to someone else's child. It doesn't surprise me in the least bit. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. Make sure that you text the number that is pinned down in the comments below to receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live.